As soon as I saw this moment again, I knew the developers had a good handle on what needed to be changed for this remaster and what needed to be left the hell alone. Black thinks he's an elephant, and that shouldn't change. But in all seriousness, my bros, heads up, this is just going to be a video about me mostly gushing about these remasters. Heck, I was smiling ear to ear just from the added function of being able to walk and run diagonally. Just like a lot of you watching, I've replayed these games countless times. So seeing both of them being given small and large changes that seem to have been mindfully thought out and implemented with a good deal of care is of course going to elicit a huge response from me. And don't get me wrong, there were definitely things missing from this remaster that would have made both games a little bit better. A convoy system for Suikoden 1 to free up party compositions, or New Game Plus with all characters recruited for both games, starting at the beginning of each game would have been friggin' awesome. But I kind of knew early on after the announcement, those things probably weren't going to be in these remasters. It's weird. I figured they wouldn't be in these remasters because they would be too much work. And I realized the developers just decided to put their energy into certain aspects of these games over others. And I don't hate the end result. Plus, they didn't make the crucial mistake of smoothing out the excellent character sprite work with any kind of filter. And this decision allowed the original sprite work to shine on the great new backgrounds. The biggest change to these remasters visually was, of course, the overhaul to the backgrounds, and I think Konami knocked it out of the park. The redone world maps are gorgeous for both games, and the remastered backgrounds fit in so perfectly with both titles, and they never felt out of place or overworked. I love it when a remaster of a game does such a good job giving things a fresh coat of paint that I can look at it and be like, huh, didn't it always look that good? And shit, we finally got a hard mode for both games, which is something I really wanted. And yes, both games were still pretty damn easy even on hard mode. And especially for someone like me who knows the in and outs of both games, I wasn't sweating one bit. But it was nice to have random encounters and bosses last a little bit longer than usual, because it means I get to enjoy two of my most favorite games of all time just for that little bit longer. I don't know what the verdict is on the new translations for the game, but they seemed very familiar to the old ones to me, but cleaned up enough to have the story be a little bit more clear and less confusing. There was definitely a scene or two where I felt like the explanation was just a little bit more clear for this remaster, and it still didn't feel like a foreign experience compared to the original script for the game, even though there were still a few too many spelling mistakes for my liking. Overall though, these remasters are a great achievement for the franchise and JRPG enthusiasts. One good and one masterclass JRPG are now available for modern consoles and will be easily available on PC for forever at this point. I love intermittently going over to Steam and viewing the overwhelmingly positive score these remasters have gotten. These games deserve it, and I hope it helps give these remasters some long legs when it comes to sales. And it was a great way to reintroduce Suikoden to the world and to let old fans replay these games again. For a first step in reviving the Suikoden franchise, Konami, I feel, mostly nailed it. Fans seem to be quite happy, and the critical reception wasn't too bad either. Well, what else can I say? I hope these two remasters aren't the last, and that when they tackle the next remasters eventually, that they use the great success that they've had as a roadmap for what to do. And I know it's been a long time, everybody, to get to this point. It feels like it's been forever, because it has. Suikoden's been gone, truly gone, for a long time. But it seems like it's back now. We've had our first step, as the developers have said, and they've promised many more. So hopefully we have something to look forward to in the future. But no, as always, thank you for watching my videos. I always appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and I'll see you guys for the next step. Take it easy.